we're here back again for another week of Five Guys on Live. I just want to say that our intro plays me like I'm Cynthia Bailey. And there's nothing wrong with being Cynthia Bailey, but you know, the opener gets to be like the key peach holder, right? Like that's like the Portia Williams. And then the last one is like the Nene Leakes. But you know, DeAndre, you and I and Vince, we're Cynthia Bailey. But that's okay. I'd rather be Cynthia Bailey than Shamari.
Zach, I wish we would have recorded that right before we went live, because that needs to be how we start every show. Would you saying that?
Saying about
yes,
playing me like I'm Cynthia Bailey.
I love it.
So you know what, guys, we have a great show here tonight. We want to wish a happy birthday to CJ's mom. And my camera is still not right. Hold on. Let me stop. Hold on.
You better have several cameras, okay?
I do. I actually do have an additional camera to use. And let's see if I'm going to come back better than ever. Hold on. Let's see what now is going to happen.
I'm looking forward to it.
Just a little bit better, high definition for you, our viewers. So we do want to give a huge happy birthday to CJ's mom. So if you're out there, shout out to CJ's mom. They are having a wonderful 60th celebration. Hello to Mama Vera. When we speak of moms, glad that you are joining us. I just cannot wait for my mom to be able to join us again. I am once again in my home state of Mississippi as my mom is slowly but surely recovering, being covered by the Lord and getting better and better every single day. Hey, Stanley, we are joined today and also a huge congratulations to Vince, another one of our amazing castmates, as he has continuously celebrated the opening and expansion of his continuous business franchise with It's a Cheesecake now in Lenox Mall at And Cheese. And I know this weekend, Darius, you went there, so we're going to talk about that at the end of the show, about your It's a Cheesecake experience. So filling in for CJ this week, we have the one and only neurodiversity and inclusion expert, Zach Thomas. Welcome back to Five Guys on Live, Zach.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully you won't tell any lies about me on air like you were telling lies about me before you came on the show. Okay? But that's what happens as you get a little older. Your mind starts to go in different directions because, you know, you had a birthday last month. It was Gemini season. It's over now. We are getting ready to go into Leo season. And so we're also very excited to be joined today by the one and only Kolby Gardner. Kolby, welcome back to Five Guys on Live. Give him a round of applause.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Out there is running to be our next lieutenant governor for the state of Georgia. Let's give a huge
famous. He famous.
He is absolutely a big deal. Kolby, I am glad that you are here with us. I definitely have some questions. I got some interviewing to do. But before we go and dig into our topics, is there something awesome? Thank you, Mama Vera. We love you the most. Is there something awesome that you want to share with our viewers about the Kolby Gardner Lieutenant Governor campaign and the work that you're doing to decide in terms of this being your next move?
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Zach, for having me back. It's been a blessing to be in this race so far. I'm a first-time candidate for office, but I've been blessed right now to actually be in the lead for fundraising. Our campaign has been able to raise about $116,000 from donors all over the country. And as this first-time candidate is definitely grateful and just happy to be here. Really happy to be here.
Kolby, we are happy to have you here. We're excited for you that the campaign has continuously taken off so strong in the beginning. We're going to continue to make that strong. There's a lot of stuff that I have planned. Can't wait to see that come to fruition. And we're looking close. So with that being said, that's what I'm saying. Yep, Darius Williams said, whoever he may be, so proud of you. So proud of you. You know, I want to know, Darius, are you so proud of the Biden administration for this brand new the brand new money that's hitting the bank accounts of families as we speak? Checks start to roll in on. Are you guys still getting feedback? It's gone. I just saw the message. Are you guys hearing me loud and clear?
You're
Yeah,
good with that.
it's good now.
Good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I want to know, what do we think about this? Because there's been a lot of controversy on conservative media. So we knew that when the Biden COVID-19 relief bill passed, the $2.1 trillion that was allocated, it included an advancement on the 2021 child tax credit that people normally would have gotten in January to April of 2022. So now parents of children are able to get $300 a month for children under 6 and under, $250 a month for families with children age 6 to 17. I want to know from you guys, do you think this is a good idea? Is this going to help the American economy, or is it only going to hurt us, as many businesses seem to be struggling for workers? I want to know what you think.
Well, absolutely. I think that this tax credit, according to the Biden administration, and a lot of top economists all around the country have all said that this is scheduled to literally cut childhood poverty in half. And I think that what you're going to see is a lot of households receiving that child payment for almost all of their children, and that will allow them to be able to afford things like food and child care, and just that extra couple $100 a month is definitely going to make a difference in a lot of households, at least for folks I know, at least.
I definitely agree, Kolby. And I know we talk a lot about even the water boards in Atlanta. I don't think that something like this is going to stop them, but I can see it being the type of relief that families need, even on the regular, to keep their children from having to sell water on the corners or to be engaged with other things that might not be legal. So I'm excited to see how this tax credit will help, because I think that the income threshold is very high. If your AGI is below $240,000 as a single filer, then you qualify for it. So it gives you an idea of the fact that 96% of families in the United States of America will be able to get this tax credit. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts the economy, and also to see if it impacts crime in any way, to have this extra money in the pockets of families.
So one of our viewers said this, that it still ain't enough. The issue is childcare and tutoring. People can no longer afford children in this overpriced society.
And see, I was actually going to go there because of the fact that we unfortunately don't have enough. We don't allocate enough money and resources into our state programming. And when you look at the program, when you look at after school programs, when you look at, those initiatives, that makes it hard. And so I understand. So now you're giving additional funds for things, but you have to look at, childcare is not going down. So we're not putting funding into our DFACS program. And then we're not actually, truth be told, we're not putting enough funds to rectify or fix those programs. Because I think what's happening is that we have a system that's still broken. And it's like, I get it that we're funneling money into these families, but why are we not putting money to actually find a way to fix these programs like DFACS that still have issues within in the system? So I'm with it. I'm always with trying to find ways to help the American people, but I think we have to stop looking at the Band-Aids and stop looking at trying to put a Band-Aid on things and say, okay, what can we fundamentally do to make sure that we're literally helping people from the inside out? And that could be funneling funds directly into the resource and earmarking it. So they have to spend the money in those ways. So you put that money into these DFACS and to child care and to early education so that we can make sure that the kids are really getting it at the end of the day.
But I also think we still need to put the money into the households. I was recently reading some statistics about people who are making minimum wage can barely keep a roof over their heads. And I think this money is going to help with that. And so we definitely need to continue to do that. But we also need to look at other ways to rectify situations like this, because we're trying to ultimately get people out of poverty. We have not enough states that have raised the minimum wage costs. We have not enough states providing the same support services that you talked about, Dr. Pickett. But I think we still need to put the money into the households as well. And it's not enough. I think we still need more.
Absolutely. And to expound upon what you both said, I think universal basic income, I think we see that down there in the comments as well, is a really great concept. And this is one of the first iterations of that for sure. And to your point, it's a statistic came out from CNN just last week, where if you made minimum wage, you can afford a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in this country. And I think that's just a shame that folks can't afford something basic such as your household, they really have a roof over your head. And one thing I do want to note, and I want to make sure everyone hears this, is that 0 Republicans voted for this package. 0 Republicans allowed this ability to get this extra money each month. And actually, in the upcoming reconciliation package that the Democrats are trying to get through Congress, they're talking about expanding this credit and then doing additional things such as early childhood education and then community college. So we're going to hope that this the Senate parliamentarian actually says we can do that.
So we have, I don't know if this is still James Johnson, who we can't see his cute face. I would anticipate that this would be James. This seems like something that James Johnson would say. We got the money. It's the mismanagement of the parents. James, I absolutely cannot agree with this at all. We are living in an America that has continuously increased prices across the board because we have very greedy people who want to go to the moon or Mars or Venus or wherever it is that they want to go. They want to build space Teslas and fly and play around in Mars while Americans are working 2 and 3 jobs every day to make ends meet, but still they're starving. Still they're having to make drastic decisions. Still they cannot pay for their children to get tutoring. Still they can't pay for their children to have adequate health care. That's the America that we're living in. So no matter how much a parent manages their funds, they still can't pay for basic necessities when they're not being paid a livable wage. Everyone in America isn't called to higher education, and it was never meant to be that you had to attain higher education to simply live in America. If this is this great American country that it's meant to be, we need to live up to the great ideas of America, and we have not done that. We've actually moved further and further away from those opportunities, from those times. And I will tell you this, I have not bought food stamps, but if a mother came to me and needed to sell me food stamps because she needed money to buy other necessities for her child that you can't buy with food stamps, I would happily and proudly just give her the money. That's what I would do, because sometimes you don't need a food stamp, but maybe your child needs a computer to do their schoolwork at home, and you're putting all of your energy on ensuring that I want to make sure that my child has an education, but I can't buy a computer. We have to think bigger, and we have to think more broadly about what makes people do these things instead of judging them and taking the perspective that's so narrow and so limited that conservatives want us to have about people. That's what we're fighting against. And not only are we fighting against that, but we're also fighting a war for immigration and a legal path to citizenship for dreamers. James said, I'm a liberal, but this is one of the only countries that gives you money for having a child. WIC, SNAP, Section 8, Medicaid, Peach Care. Absolutely also not true. James, that's not true. Turn off Fox News. Turn it off. Stop watching those lies. Get off the internet, James. Stop looking at Newsmax and One Action News Network and looking and loving up, want to play with Tammy Lauren on the bedroom on your couch. Okay, we want to play all over her, rub all over her face and other assets. Leave her alone. This is what's that black girl on Fox News? Faulkner, is that her name? What's her fake Faulkner? Stop playing around with fake Faulkner, trying to live up in her butt. Here's the thing, James, that is absolutely not true. Many countries do way more for their citizens than America has even thought about, because we're not a socialist democracy. I don't know what we are, but what we are ain't right. And I'll leave it at that so we can kind of transition into our dreamers. Last week, gentlemen, as you know, the court in Texas upheld the ban against new applications to the Dreamer program. I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that will help immigration reform, or is this something that's going to actually hurt moving immigration reform forward? The floor is open.
So for me, when I got that news last week, I know Dreamers. I know them personally. They have lived in this country their entire lives. This is their home. The country that they have that they were born in, they have no ties there. And for us to say that this is not their home, that we're going to deny further applicants into this program, but not giving them a path to citizenship, is absolutely terrible. I will say that Congress needs to get off of their behind and get to work on a comprehensive immigration package. And I get that we can't agree, but we need to do something, because these people from all over the world are coming to this country trying to achieve the American dream, and we need to allow them a path to citizenship, a legal one. Otherwise, we're going to continue in this broken system.
And Candace said, James, let's not get racist. And even if it's not racist, don't be classist. I think that's really more along the lines of what we're dealing with is a classist approach to how we view Americans.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, is there anyone out there, because really conservative media has made a big deal about immigration reform and immigration policies, and they're really using that as a number one sticking point to attack President Biden and his administration. Do we see any validity to their argument and claims? Clearly, Kolby doesn't, but is there anyone on the chat who does?
No, I think at the end of the day, people who argue against immigration or argue against those things, I think at the end of the day, they feel like it limits their power. Because at the end of the day, anybody that you cannot control, anybody that you cannot actually take accountability for, you lose power. So they know that, especially because you have a party, a Democratic Party that's more liberal to the ideals of making, to allowing you the freedoms and liberties that you deserve, they tend to go towards that party. And so the more people you have in this country that don't necessarily agree or vote like you, then unfortunately that takes away their power. So of course, the Republican Party is going to have issues with a group of people who don't vote like them, who don't think like them. So that's why they try to do things to coerce. Hence the reason why we've never seen which is actually kind of illegal, but he made it. That's why let me get it right, twice impeached, never to return again president.
Florida retiree.
Florida retiree. Had a whole whole citizenship ceremony during the convention. First of all, that's actually not supposed to happen. You can't make that political, but yet you're fighting against immigration. And so again, anytime that you cannot get with people or deal with people that you cannot control, you find a problem. So I don't feel it's an issue, and we don't think it's an issue. We know who has the issue. We just have to find a way to make sure that we protect them at all costs.
Yeah, I would agree with what everyone has said. I think the issues that I have is that, yes, Biden is the president of the people. And yes, Congress needs to get off their asses and do something about this. But is Biden truly out there trying to work for them to get off their asses? And so, I think you still have to use some of those politics that you had back when you were a senator as a president. And so when he was a senator, he was lobbying across the aisle and talking across the aisle on these different issues. And so I don't know if I truly see him doing that now on these issues such as immigration. And I think he needs to get back to doing that or have the right people in place to do it, because I know he put Kamala in charge of this.
No.
This is a different day in America. This is not the Biden years when you had politicians who were
it is. People voted for him for that.
You cannot work with people who refuse to work with you. Here's a prime example. Everyone in America, we all sat here and we watched the January 6th insurrection. And we saw people say, hang Mike Pence. We saw them looking and hunting down people like Kevin McCarthy to punish. Now those same people are sitting here saying this didn't happen. They're sitting here saying it was like a carnival and they came to tour the Capitol with popcorn and cotton candy and to just simply have a wonderful redneck orgy in Washington, D.C. That's what they're now telling us happened. And when the reality is something totally different, you can't work with people like that because they don't want to live in reality. They want to live in Trumplandia.
Hell, we're gonna be in the same situation the rest of our lives if we're not working with people.
No, we won't.
If we're not able to work with people that we can't get along with,
So one thing
the difference will be this. The difference is we have to get these people out of office and get a real majority in the Senate and the House. We cannot work with people who don't want to work with us. President Biden can't make what turtleneck? President Biden can't
Marjorie.
Matt McConnell. He can't make turtleneck work for him. Work with him. He can't do it.
Absolutely, Zach. I think what I've seen now is what you have is Democrats arguing against Democrats about policy issues and ideas because the Republicans are uninterested in governing. They're uninterested in coming to the table with solutions. And so, but they keep getting elected on that platform. Then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Literally. And then you have the Democrats on our side, you have progressives versus moderates, quote unquote, having these arguments, but we also don't have the votes to get things passed. So at the end of the day, we definitely need to just work together to get stuff done.
But Zach, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Who's the Kolby? I'm sorry. Who was just talking? Kolby. But we talked about that last week because of the fact that, unfortunately, until we get a clear understanding in the Democratic Party about exactly what we're going to do to actually combat this, because again, we're still having these problems with these progressives and moderates, or everybody keeps fighting, and so again, this is an issue that is going to keep happening. But I also want to also preface this by saying I understand we put a lot of pressure and a lot of stuff on these presidents, and I understand they run and that's everything else. But let's also be very clear that the president of the United States of America only has the power that which the legislature gives him. So I believe that he needs to make sure that he's speaking to the party and willing and dealing. But if the Congress is not going to do it, at the end of I don't care who we got. If the Congress is not going to do it, then at the end of the day, we are not going to get anything done. And so that means we have to do our part locally by getting sure that we put these people in place that we can support a president to actually get that done. So he can talk until he's blue in the face, and we know he can do that. How it be soever, if he is not going to have the people in place to get it done, it cannot be done. It's just comprehensively not possible.
It can't be done, beloved. So,
beloveds, we're always going to have Republicans in office, so we can't act like they don't exist.
Well, Jonathan says, I'm all for term limits. I think after you served as a senator for 2 terms, 12 years, that's enough. If you've served 6 terms, 12 years as a representative, that's enough. Feinstein, McConnell, Grassley, Sanders, they all need to go home.
Pack it up.
I think Jonathan makes a compelling argument. What do we think?
Pack it up. Take it to the house.
All for term limits. This political candidate will all be for term limits.
Mm-hmm. And even some of the ones that we love have, they spent a lot of time under domes and stuff, not really doing much. So it goes both ways, not only Republicans.
Just for the record, and I know I know people always say this, politicians do have term limits. It's called vote their ass out.
Well, they do.
It's very simple. It's called vote them out.
I think George Washington set the precedent when he only allowed himself 2 terms. There comes a point where we do need elder statesmen in office. But at some point, you do need to.
Washington in Hamilton. If you go back and watch Hamilton, he said, we're going to teach them how to say goodbye. You want to make sure that you show people how to get out of office. You don't want to become irrelevant in your position.
But here's the thing. The reason why you need term limits, in my opinion, example, Joe Manchin. There is no question in my mind that a real Republican could easily beat Joe Manchin in West Virginia. But the Republican Party will never fund a real Republican because it's more advantageous to them to have Joe Manchin, a fake Democrat, in office to prop up and support the Republican agenda. That's part of the problem. So politics work that way so they can keep someone like Manchin in office when he should have been gone a long time ago. So, with that being said, and we talk about term limits, and we're talking about people that say that the insurrection did not occur, who are all about the redneck orgy, not sure what he was actually doing in the redneck orgy, is this man right here, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Last week, Senator Lindsey Graham is the belle of the ball. He is the darling of Fox News, and he is on every single night almost doing something on Fox News. He spins and he twirls and he shows all the girls the different levels of ladybugness in the Republican Party. So recently, having nothing to do with North Carolina, he made a comment about Notre Dame. Notre Dame said they wanted the Chick-fil-A on campus to go away. No more Chick-fil-A at Notre Dame because they don't agree with the stance that Chick-fil-A has taken against the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as some of the racist comments and remarks and history of this organization as a corporate structure in the past. When Notre Dame said this, Lindsey Graham said the following on Twitter: I want everyone in South Carolina and across America to know I have Chick-fil-A's back. I hope we don't have to, but I will go to war for the principles Chick-fil-A stands for. Great food, great service, great values. Gentlemen, I want to know your thoughts on Senator Lindsey Graham's war for chicken and Chick-fil-A and his decision to do no war whatsoever for the January 6th insurrection, where he was a prime target for death.
Well, first off, let's be very clear. Madam Graham has never had anybody's back or front, for that matter. So let's start there. But at the end of the day, as I know we have to have a conversation about this topic, but as irrelevant as Senator Graham is now at this point, no one takes him seriously because he's a flip-flopper. Every time he turn around, he goes with the wind of whatever belief is popular at the moment. The fact that Notre Dame is actually taking a stance against Chick-fil-A says a whole lot. And they are a Christian school. And so for the fact that they're taking a stance and the fact that they're saying we don't believe in this and this is our value, listen, somebody didn't pay attention in Sunday school when he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. So somebody wasn't paying attention to Sunday school, Lindsey Graham. So we want to make sure that you understand that. And so he's irrelevant and I don't care what he has to say.
Yeah, I wore my army fatigue tonight because I'm at war too. I'm at an internal war. I cannot continue to. I have decided that I'm not eating Chick-fil-A anymore. As of May, I think was my last time eating Chick-fil-A. I know, Zach. It's okay. That's some damn good chicken. And I just have had the hardest time. Oh my God, today. So once I have all of these points that I have to get rid of. I'm not sure.
Wait a minute, Zach. What was that?
That was some of that good. That was that good barbecue sauce in Polynesia.
From where?
Of course, Chick-fil-A, that good Christian chicken.
Oh, that mac and cheese is really good. Oh my God, today. So yes, I'm at a war as well. So I'm with Lindsey Graham. We're all gonna go to war. I'm gonna be at war with myself. He's gonna be at war with everybody that don't want Chick-fil-A. And I will send Amber some of my points so that you can get you some of that.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, Amber's not going to be eating Chick-fil-A. No, Amber, absolutely not. No, that is an esteemed educator, and she will not be eating Chick-fil-A. Zach Thomas is a noted diversity and inclusion expert in the United States of America, and you're sitting here going to Chick-fil-A.
Send me some more points.
Chick-fil-A hates you. Chick-fil-A hates you.
Darius, send me some more points. I'm at 8,000. If I get 10,000, I'll make it to the next level.
I'm gonna make it plain. I'm a proud Christian. I make no allusion towards that. But at the end of the day, a corporation that literally and deliberately targets homosexuals all over the world will never get our mind.
See, I totally agree. I understand.
You don't like black people either.
Well, I mean, okay, I have mixed emotions because I have a couple of people that I know with who are now investing and becoming franchisees of Chick-fil-A that are black. And so, like, I think
they pay their workers minimum wage.
No, they don't. No, they actually don't. Not Chick-fil-A. Yeah, you need to do the research on that one.
The bottom line, I'm talking about your friends who are franchisee owners.
No.
It's okay, Zach. It's okay.
Thank you.
It's just I get it. I think there's some cognitive dissonance that some folks may have.
I don't get it, Kolby. I don't get it. So you get it. Explain it to me because I don't understand how anyone can support that homophobic racist chicken.
Yes, all of those things. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna definitely take some time, but I definitely am willing to have the conversation again, as many times as I need to make sure folks know the atrocities that this corporation is causing all around the world. Again, every couple of years they get caught and they bring it back a little bit. But no, you're not. Tell me once. That's all.
It's ongoing in the heart of protest with the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. Chick-fil-A comes out with All Lives Matter, and Chick-fil-A comes out supporting Blue Lives. Yet and still, all of these black people want to sit up here and still say, I support Chick-fil-A. I get it. You like how great it tastes. I understand that. But at some point, people have to take a stance and say, I believe in something. And when Chick-fil-A has told you multiple times that no matter who you are, no matter how many of you black people eat this chicken sandwich that we stole from another restaurant years ago, decades ago, we're not going to put any money and any value in your life. And I don't care how many black people own franchisees. There are black people on the internet every single day who tear down other black people. You have Wendy Williams sitting on her couch right now getting her legs drained, tearing down black people.
Why is Wendy in it? She ain't even did nothing. She ain't even did nothing this week. Calm down, okay?
They on break till September, Zach. Please. September.
That's okay. I'm gonna start my own. I'm gonna start my own chicken sandwich. It's gonna be called thick fillet. Okay, so if y'all want some of that, y'all meet me down to the corner, and we're gonna go after we get our cheesecake from Aunt Cheese by Vince Ashton. Then we're gonna get us some thick fillet, and we all gonna be all right.
Dude, we're by you churches.
So, Zach Thomas, Zach Thomas wants to definitely counsel. We're working on a project called Cancel a Council. And so I say cancel a Chick-fil-A. Zach Thomas would say, of course, counsel. But the real question comes in because we're getting ready for the Olympics. It's right around the corner. And we just had today, several Olympians had to pull out of the Olympics because they tested positive for COVID. You have a number of people who are setting up, serving in the Olympic Village right now in Tokyo, who also tested positive for COVID. It's getting to be, to me, even more so of a dangerous scene. A lot of black people are calling for a full boycott of the Olympics because of things that the Olympics have done to silence black voices. But yeah, you had Harvard-educated Gabby Thomas come out and say this. It really hurts to see so many black people choosing not to watch the Olympics this year. There are so many black athletes who have put in years of hard work for this moment, myself included. We want your support. Additionally, I worry some of the anger and disdain may be misplaced. The Olympics and those at the IOC have nothing to do with current events taking place. Gentlemen, is this a time for me to no longer cancel and go ahead and do a council? Or are we standing firm in the fact that Zachary Kirk and other woke black people should not watch the Tokyo Olympics?
Well, I tell you this every week. I ain't watched it before. I ain't watching it this week. So, y'all can have this conversation. But as for me and my house of one, I won't be watching any Olympics.
I have been watching the Olympics since I can remember, even more so that I've even participated in the Torch Relay theme songs a couple of times. And so I am all Olympic in. I'm not necessarily boycott. I personally feel they should not be having these Olympics, not for the reasons of what's going on. I believe, first of all, it's still this is a major event from countries around the world. And we still have not gotten a handle on this pandemic. And so for me, that's one of the reasons why I feel it should have been canceled. Because of the fact there's just so much going on, and I can't believe that. I still do believe though, that because of the fact, especially this go round, there are so many, African Americans going over, and there's so much history to be made. That is something. I don't say you got to watch the entire. I ain't say you got to watch it all. I just simply say it would be nice if we could do our part to again help, support them for that. But I'm just against the Olympics for the fact that we're having it because we're still in a pandemic. Not to mention that even in our country, we are now seeing increases in the spike of the coronavirus. And so that's even for me is concerning. And so for me, it's a health issue, not even a social justice issue anymore. At this point, I'm just concerned and nervous that when they come back, what's going to happen to those athletes when they come back and they come among us again? And is this another super spreader opportunity? So that's kind of where my fear is.
So, let me say this, and I think people don't understand how support works. Like, you can support Simone Biles by simply tweeting out support for Simone Biles, but watching the Olympics is not going to support Simone Biles. Let me tell you who doesn't know who you are. Simone Biles. She doesn't know any of us, right? So she is not at home waiting for us and hoping that we watch and support her. Now, you're right, Mama Vera. When you go to when your baby's in the Olympics, you will be there watching live on courtside. But when you watch the Olympics, you're not supporting Simone Biles. You're not supporting Gabby Thomas. You're actually supporting the International Olympic Committee, and you're supporting NBC. You're supporting these organizations that make money from advertisers. That's not going to the athletes. When Simone Biles wins a gold medal, she's going to get $25,000, and that's about it. And she'll get sponsorships. But that won't be based upon you watching the Olympics. By boycotting the Olympics, you're going to send a message to the IOC as well as to NBC News that their approach and their stance, which is anti-Black, doesn't sit well and does not benefit in the culture. That's why I'm saying we need to boycott the Olympics, because when we don't boycott the Olympics, we're sending the wrong message. These entities need to be respectful of the people who keep them in business. The majority of these Olympic athletes who people are going to want to watch are people of color. So therefore, when you say that you don't allow Olympic athletes to speak out for Black Lives Matter and you want to censor them, you're not showing respect for who they are as people. When you say that Black swimmers can't wear certain swim caps to protect their natural hair, you're also saying that you don't value them as people. Those are the issues that I have with this year's Olympics and why those Olympics should be boycotted. They shouldn't be. We should not support that, drop their ratings, cost them sponsors, and therefore in the future they will do a better job of respecting the culture that helps make them famous.
So I definitely hear you, Zach. I think canceling is definitely always a method to show our protests, our issues with their current policies. But I think an additional way to protest is also making our voices heard, but we can also show up and make our voices heard as well. I think you've seen a variety of organizations from the Divine Nine. Several organizations wrote letters after the Shikari incident, but we're also seeing organizations from all around the country really kind of rallying behind these young Black people to make sure that they know they are supported, even though we have these issues. I think both are definitely possible.
I firmly believe, Amber, that she tested positive there. They're all right there.
No, it was here. I think she tested here.
So she hadn't
even went over there. No.
Delta got him.
Oh, Delta. Uh-oh.
They said he out there.
Let it go.
Okay.
I just want to let y'all know I did send out 3 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and I'm gonna work on sending out the rest of them.
Darius, you do the right thing and you unload that app. You get those sandwiches dispersed.
Thank you, Darius.
So that you can live with a good, clean conscience about doing the right thing.
That's lunch tomorrow. Thank you.
And you know who else is trying to live with a good, clean conscience and who is trying to also do the right thing? I'm going to tell you in a minute who that person is, but I'm not. I can't even do it right with that one. When has the Olympics ever supported African Americans on a world platform? Look at you know what, Sean? Big facts. That is accurate.
I love Sean. Sean, I want these sandwiches too.
Don't give Sean no sandwich. Sean is he is woke. He is free of that. He is not sitting here sleeping like some people who eat Chick-fil-A still. They're not woke, but Sean is woke. Let me tell you something, woke Sean. You are right. And in previous Olympics, we did not have Black Lives Matter protests sweeping the country. And I can say that I was woke enough to recognize the role I should play in supporting the efforts of my Black brothers and sisters in this country. But now on July 19th of 2021, Zachary Kirk is woke enough to say I won't be watching those Olympics. Darius is indeed a real one. You know, he is a real one. And you know who else thought she was a real one? I'm going to show you this girl right here.
Ooh.
Not Victoria's Secret Karen.
This is Victoria's Secret Karen. Zach, tell us about Victoria's Secret Karen.
Well, so Victoria's Secret Karen was in her white fragility day. Felt like she wanted to act a fool and show her power and privilege. So this Black woman, I think by the name of Ijama, was shopping, and they don't have video footage of what happens before, but she got too close to her. She told her, give me 6 feet because you don't have a mask on. as we know, COVID is still spreading. And so she was filming the whole thing when they got to the counter. And this woman proceeds to fall out, to fake a panic attack, which I don't know for sure. Allegedly, I would say that. And so what we have to see is that she then proceeds to go and hit the black woman, camera out of hand. Mind you, this woman did not retaliate. She didn't touch her back. And so now she's raised over $105,000 for her lawsuit against various people. And so I just want to know what you all think about Miss Karen of the Week.
The Karen Olympics continue. Candace said that she was very comfortable lying on the floor in Victoria's Secret.
I just get tired of it. Like, when will it end? I mean, it's like every week we have a Karen. We should start a Karen Hall of Shame and just put up all the different Karens, because we had the Walmart, and then we got the Victoria's Secret. Like, it's just like, come on, do better, y'all. Just do better. Like, why?
But it's sad. It's sad that there's some nice Karens out there. What about these ally Karens? What's going to happen to them?
I know. But are they Karens if they allies?
If they're allies, we call them Courtneys. You know, if you're a Karen, you're a Karen. If you're an ally, you're a Courtney.
Let's call her Abigail or something.
All right.
That's somebody's real name.
Karen. Are you going to be a Courtney or are you going to be a Karen? And so when you talk about the money being raised, the money being raised is actually, again, by the victim. The victim has raised this money because she wants to file a lawsuit. And yeah, here's the thing, right? So yeah, Amber said she is raising money. It's not the Karen, as you can see here in the video. You have seen one where she's gonna slap the hand. She's gonna slap the black lady, the camera out of the lady's hand. Then in the middle, she realized she's being recorded, and then she has on the floor her panic attack. And she even had a moment when she was like shaking her legs and moving around, and you know, across the board. But the actual fundraising is being done by the victim because she wants to file a lawsuit against Karen as well as Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret response was very piss poor. They actually allowed this kind of abuse in their store, and they actually blamed the victim initially. They did not take action against Karen, although everyone saw what Karen did and it was recorded. So to me, you know, Zach, is this a cancel or a counsel for Victoria's Secret?
I think this is a counsel for not counsel, but like counsel. Let's talk about it, because I think they need to be hiring somebody such as myself to come in and do some training. But also I think we need to do some education around this, because the piece that really pissed me off was this other white woman saying, "Why are you filming her? Don't do that. Just leave her alone and why? Why are you taking up for another?"
That's exactly what Matthew said. Folks were unbothered in a store. You have this white lady assaulting this African American or African lady. I don't know if she was African American or how she identifies.
She's Nigerian American.
Yeah, she's assaulting this lady. And you're right. People were saying, "Why are you filming her?" They were unbothered and they didn't jump for it. And Mama Vera, you also stated earlier, you know, why security did show up. But when security showed up, they addressed the victim. They didn't address Karen.
As it usually goes.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that mental health should always be taken seriously.
Right.
But at the same time, there needs to be some procedures in place to make sure that your employees are protected in cases like this. And I think we saw a comment there. Security should have intervened. There shouldn't have even been an employee dealing with this situation, to be honest.
But here's another example of her privilege shown. Like she was able to use her privilege.
And then those white tears, that fragility. Oh.
You can't cancel them $5 panties and bras.
But this is why you need to stop shopping at Victoria's Secret and then go ahead and start Veronica's Truth and call it a day.
So, you're saying that there needs to be a person of color that starts a different.
But I guess my thing is, my problem that I have is, you know, if we spent, I hate to say this, but if we actually spent our money elsewhere and we actually we took our money and actually spent it in places that actually did what we would have to worry about their benefits. Because if we did, this is another way of protest. take your money and go somewhere else. And
is that called counseling? Is that called counseling, Mr.? We don't counsel people?
Who said I don't counsel? I said I don't counsel.
You said what?
I don't say I don't counsel.
Oh, okay.
When did we say that?
Okay. We had a whole argument about everybody. Like,
roll back the tapes.
No, we had a whole argument about that. I said I don't. No, that was that one down there. Him. I ain't saying nothing about not counseling. I didn't say I said we should always be so quick to cancel people.
Right.
I talk about forgiveness.
But what I'm saying is that's what counseling is. You take your money, you say, I'm not going to spend this money with these people. I'm going to spend my money elsewhere. That's cancellation. You
said cancellation.
That's cancellation.
That's not necessarily cancellation. I'm simply saying to you, I don't necessarily have because I don't have to necessarily put it out there like, oh, I'm sitting here, I just have to use you. I ain't say I'm canceling you, especially if I never used you. If you cancel, I never used you.
We're just not gonna call it cancellation. We're just gonna cancel them, but we're gonna call it something else. Okay, I got you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't try to pull me. We all English. We all English. What I'm saying is, if it's almost like if when we were doing football, I'm not canceling you if I never patronized you in the first place.
That's true.
So it's like at the end of the day, it's not a cancel if I never used you. What I'm saying is what I'm doing is building a coalition to find another alternative. So I'm not saying I'm canceling.
Are you building a coalition
alternative?
You're building a coalition of people who use it to go somewhere else.
Oh, I'm building a coalition of people who may not use, but I'm providing you another opportunity.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you're not, I'm not canceling nothing. I'm just simply saying I'm providing you an opportunity.
It's just the next step.
It's called options. You ain't got to cancel.
After we cancel Victoria's Secret, where we're gonna go? I got you.
Yeah, it sounds like canceling to me as well, Darius. But we will let DeAndre call it options all day.
It ain't no cancellation.
It's called picking another choice, making a different selection. No problem, Darius.
But that don't mean cancel. That don't mean cancel.
It doesn't. I think you doesn't.
You're right, DeAndre.
James said, "Call it Shaniqua's Secret."
We got Thick Filet, Shaniqua's Secret. We got Veronica's Truth. We got that's a whole little mini plaza going on. What else are we gonna put in our plaza?
Keisha's Treasure Chest.
Period.
So, we got a whole. We are starting a whole new series. We can give you some chicken from Thick Filet, with and then we can give you Veronica's Truth. Or again, and we can give you a whole Keisha. I like Keisha's Treasure Chest.
I like that too.
And I would like for Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms to be our first spokesperson and model for the product, because I want to see her. I think that she would be a phenomenal spokesperson for Keisha's Treasure Chest, and I would definitely.
I thought she'd been canceled.
Who?
Keisha.
I'll cancel you before I cancel.
Damn well, Zach ain't canceling Keisha. That's gonna be the last person to be canceled.
That's my mayor right there.
That's what I'm saying.
We canceled Keisha months ago.
Oh Lord.
And I would have no problems with Tyler Perry sponsoring anything he wants. Let me tell you something right here. Tyler Perry, you can sponsor 5 Guys on Live, okay? You can sponsor at any given point 5 Guys on Live. Take whoever you want as long as you take it. So with that being said, while we are talking about all the canceling and all the changes that are there, we do have some changes that are going to be hitting us. We do have some changes that will be. We do not want Medea to be the spokesmodel. We're going to stick with Keisha. We're going to we do not want Medea. Now, Medea would give you some bras that last. Those are bras that would endure and be there for the long haul. But we do not want her as an official model.
Why? Why are we being exclusive and not inclusive?
Okay, Medea.
Moving right along.
We'll have Medea do a brand new a bra reveal, just like Wendy Asafo did on the Real Housewives of Potomac not too long ago. But what about this? I don't know if you guys know, but we have the brand new in 2021 when the NFL returns to TV. Really, in a couple of weeks, gentlemen, we're going to have the Black National Anthem played before the national anthem before every single game. This has really pissed off conservative media. Here's a tweet from Tommy Lauren. It states, "Who read it? Read it for us, Darius."
So the NFL will include the Black National Anthem and social justice messages in the 2021 season. That should do wonders for ratings.
And I want to emphasize that was the voice of Tommy Lauren, not just some random person.
Tommy Lauren is a racist. She's a racist.
Gentlemen, what do you guys think about the NFL making this decision? Is this going to hurt them more than help them?
It's performative. It's performative.
Thank you. Yes.
If you want to impact social justice, you could start by ending the slave trade that is the NFL. You could ensure that you have as many Black owners of football teams. You can ensure that you get rid of that race norming, or what was it? Was it race norming that they do? You can do. There are a lot of things that the NFL could do. You could pour money into the Black community. You can go into some of these high schools that you're recruiting your talent from and make sure that they have the resources that they need. There are a lot of things that the NFL could do in order to impact social justice. However, playing the Negro National Anthem at the beginning of the game is not going to do a great deal of anything for the Black community.
And go ahead, Kolby.
I mean, I will say, as an alum of Clark Atlanta University, and James Weldon Johnson, the writer of the Negro National Anthem, was also an alum of Clark Atlanta University as well. At least our predecessor. I think that's important that we do highlight that song and highlight its importance. But at the same time, I will agree with you. It's all performative. It has zero actual impact on the Black community. And I think that we need to do more things like investing in all of their social justice initiatives. Now, I have not seen their plans, so I won't judge it until I see it. But at the same time, I truly believe that everything they've done up until now has not been up to the mark to actually make any impact in our communities.
And I would definitely agree. I think simply it is performative allyship. And this is a prime example of it. But I see and I like that they're investing $250 million over the next 10 years. But what is that in? Is that for marketing to put the signs on the field and the messages on the field? Or is that going to the community programs and things that we need for our community? But then also, like, if you're not educating about the Negro National Anthem behind it, then don't sing it. Because I don't want a person just standing up there trying to mumble the words on the screen, but not know what it means or where it comes from. And so that is truly performative allyship. Until you show action, it's just fluff.
Absolutely. And then what you also see is last year, we had all these corporations pledge upwards of $50 billion towards investment in the African-American community. And to date, we've seen maybe 20 million, 50 million actually get invested in our communities. So we need to hold these organizations accountable. Like you said, if it's $250 million, where's that going? It better not be going to no signs.
Or Jay-Z's pocket.
Well, look, let me say, I am excited that they're doing it. Is it performative? I can't disagree with any of that, but it's a step in the right direction for future generations. Let me explain what I mean. We're now going to have generations of non-Black people at least know the words of the Negro National Anthem as written by James Weldon Johnson. And what that means is this: they are going to internalize the words in an era and a climate when we have people literally fighting against the teaching of race of slavery even existing in America. If this is what we have to do to bring awareness to the issues and the historical significance of what Black people in America have gone through, it's a step in the right direction. So I don't want to diminish this huge move in the right direction because of the reasoning behind it. Can they do more? Absolutely. Will I watch the NFL? Absolutely not. I'm still not going to watch because of what they did to Colin Kaepernick. I don't forgive and I don't forget, especially when you do it to a Scorpio born on my birthday. So
as an educator, you should know reading has to have some comprehension with it. Because if you don't have that,
to light a fire in the intellect,
you can read a word.
I think it's a move, Zach, but I don't think I would be careful about using that word huge. I think this was very low-hanging fruit and something that was not very intentional.
And furthermore, if you and first of all, let's be very clear. I hope people realize, first and foremost, Lift Your Voice and Sing has 3 verses. Okay. We barely play 1 verse on Black History Month in church.
Yeah.
So you're expecting them every game to play all 3 verses. You're expecting every game to people to internalize when our own people don't even know all 3 verses.
Wow.
And so I'm just simply saying you're asking for a teachable moment.
And the 3rd verse is the best verse.
It is the best, but let's be very clear. The whole song, and I know the person on my left or my right knows all 3 verses as well. But I don't see this as I go back to I use this word as I said it. I'm sorry, it's a pandering moment for me. I'm sorry, and I just feel as if you're trying to. There's so many other ways you could have done this. This is not one of them. And for you to sit there and play, because everybody gonna be listening. People are gonna be listening to the music and that play and everything else. They're not gonna be internalizing nothing. They're gonna be all the other stuff. That is not what white people are gonna be doing at these games.
You know what I don't want to see?
A white person singing.
I do not want to see them have people come up here and butcher this song. That's what I do not want to see. Y'all better not get up there and do that Fergie rendition like she did the national anthem a few years ago. They better not get up on here on national television and butcher this song in the way that people do every single day. Don't do it. Stick to the original version. My preference, as Dwayne said, we want the Roland Carter version. And I want it good.
I will say the opportunity to have a performance like Whitney Houston's rendition of the national anthem.
Yes.
To see a Black person perform that song in that manner, I think will have impact. Maybe not for the entire country, but at least our community and our kids will receive that in a way that I think will be positive. To agree with you, Zach. And one thing I will know, he's also my frat brother as well, a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So I have to throw it in there.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to play stanza 3 because it talks about being true to our God and true to our native land. They're not going to sing that.
Nope.
But I do think now if they did it, a time they did it maybe it's the first game of the season or maybe it's the Super Bowl, I see that. But trying to play that
they did it at the Super Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's great. And I believe it was wasn't it
one of Alicia Keys.
Oh, really?
I know it was the world-renowned Morehouse College Glee Club.
It surely was not. Well, bless the Lord. Well, I just think I don't think it's needed, but
I can't see it. So y'all let me know how it goes next season.
I will definitely be watching some of the performances on like Twitter and other venues. And maybe something amazing will happen. The NFL will do some of the things that people have put in the chat today that will re-inspire my love of football and, bring me back. I definitely think the Colin Kaepernick ship has sailed, but I'm still kneeling with him in solidarity until that time comes. It's been a great show, gentlemen. For anyone who wants to come on to anybody going to go to IG and keep the show going? Anybody open for IG Live?
If y'all come over to IG, I might sing put that comment up there.
I'm not going to sing. If I did, I prompt you would log off. So
I'm gonna do a solo.
I have the worst singing voice in America.
I'm gonna do a solo. I'm gonna sing it solo that nobody's gonna be able to hear it.
Go ahead and sing it. Oh, Darren, but you guys can actually sing. I think everybody on this chat can sing but me, right? I think so. Oh, no, Kolby, I'm glad we have that in common. Mm-hmm. So good. We will definitely. I am not going to Tampa. I will not be going to Tampa, and I definitely don't think we're going to see Alicia Keys her freakum suit, the same one she wore when she stole that married man from his wife.
Stop that.
Right.
It happened. We're gonna do that before we do our Black History Moment 365. Not gonna do that today.
Correct.
And y'all know I'm not gonna sing nothing.
I'll sing you. We can end the show on a sour note. It would be awful. So, every week, guys, we're going to take this over to IG Live. You can go to any of our Instagrams, and I'm going to go live. The guys will join in, and we're going to continue the discussion and talk about some of these topics. Just like Ursula came and got revenge. And so we always end every week with 365 days of Black history. Guys, we're approaching a milestone moment. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of Five Guys on Live. We have had 5 guys. We have had 4 guys, but we have endured, and you still got 5. So we have some big special things planned. So please stay abreast. We do have a competition. I need you to get your little bitty coins ready. Ain't nobody going to ask you for no big money, but we're going to ask you for little money to drive the first year and celebrate the first year, so we can do things like buy people ring lights that need ring lights, and then buy me like a Wi-Fi booster or different things that we can do to make the show better for you. So, yep, I'm talking about myself as well, because, ain't nothing I can do with that Wi-Fi. I do have a Wi-Fi announcement really quick, guys. I've had Wi-Fi struggles in my home since I moved into the home. And Comcast told me the problem was just our area. All of my neighbors, they don't have Comcast. They have like DirecTV and AT&T. I'm the only Comcast user in my subdivision. Well, I finally got a tech to come out, and it was that the wire had a short in it. It was like sliced. And I didn't know that. And all this time, that Wi-Fi struggle was the result of this short in the wire. So he replaced the cord, and now I haven't had any problems with any Wi-Fi, cable television, or anything. So I'm I'm thankful for that. But I'm really angry that it took so long to get that done. So, damn Comcast. Now, cancel Comcast, Zach. Cancel Comcast. So, with that being said, take it away. Black History Fact of the Day.
I just wanted to go ahead, just piggybacking off of our previous conversation. I wanted to highlight James Weldon Johnson, who was an American writer and civil rights activist. He was also a leader of the NAACP. Where he started working in 1917. Of course, we know that he became known as the writer of Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the Negro National Anthem. And a fun fact about him, he was appointed under President Theodore Roosevelt as U.S. Consul in Venezuela and Nicaragua for most of the period from 1906 to 1913. He also was a professor at New York University, as well as Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. So that is our Black History moment for tonight. James Weldon Johnson.
Amen. And Zach, you also mentioned that Friday begins Leo season, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that on Friday, that yours truly turns another year. Oh, Friday is my birthday, so we are celebrating all week. Like I said, I listen, we celebrate birthdays here, so I had to make sure that I mentioned mine. So, if you're in town and I like you a lita bit, find me and we'll go hang out.
Well,
again, I like you a little bit.
So are you?
But you also have something special too on Saturday, right?
Well, that's a whole other story within itself, Chad.
Okay.
So are you?
Yeah, we have a huge virtual. Darius, DeAndre, can anyone watch the show?
Say again.
Can anyone watch DeAndre, the virtual program?
Yeah. So if
how can they watch it?
So my foundation, this year we're having our 3rd annual Bright Voices Honors, which will be broadcasted live on YouTube, on Pick Ed Speaks Live. But you can also go to Facebook and LinkedIn. You can check us out on 4 Brighter Futures. So you can go look at the number 4 Brighter Futures, and you'll find us. It's this Saturday at 6 p.m. We are recognizing individuals for their contributions that they've made over the course of 2020 to their communities. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We have some amazing performers. It is pre-recorded, but it is broadcasted live, so it's absolutely amazing. We have some amazing honorees, and so please make sure you go and check it out.
So Vanessa, you can go to our IG right here. I'm the Zactivist on Instagram. You can go on. We're getting ready to hop on. I'm actually going live literally right now.
And that's actually my cousin. So I'm trying to figure out why you're not even knowing that it's really Nessie, really.
So I'm gonna go live. I hope. So I'm going live. You can come check us out right now. And
Best of luck, Kolby.
we are getting ready to go live. Now, Dwayne Carter, good luck on your race, Kolby. But not only good luck on your race, let's put some good money behind the race.
Yes, how can we donate?
Need donations. So Dwayne Carter, I know you got good money. Dig in that good pocketbook and let's donate some to Kolby Gardner. The max amount is what, 2,500, Kolby?
6,600 actually.
So we can guys, right. We're getting ready to come. I have a whole group coming. Darius, you guys log off, join us Instagram Live. We're going Facebook Live, Instagram Live. Let me tell you, Dwayne, we're going to give him $6,700 over time. You ain't got to give it to him in one lump sum. You give it to him a little bit at a time. And yes, James, the 5 guys on live, we're coming in a minute, guys. The 5 guys on live will be joining you.
If anyone wants to donate, I just pop the blue link below. So please donate if you can.
Yeah, because the only person to get that kind of money is Zach.
I don't live in Georgia. I'll donate.
And it's Act Blue. So we are definitely going to be supporting our brother on that. And we'll see you guys in a moment on IG Live.